Welcome to Classical 95.9 WCRI's Conducting Conversations with your host, Mike Mano. 1 hour of music and conversation with notable people in the arts, bringing you the stories of how music has impacted their lives. The show will give a behind-the-scenes look at the guest's background, interests, or special project.
Conducting Conversations is brought to you by Roberts Musical Instruments. From sheet music and brand name instruments to rentals, repairs, lessons, and more. Roberts Musical Instruments is your key to musical success. Call 823-5459. That's 823-5459.
And now here's your host, Mike Mano.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Conducting Conversations tonight. It's a pleasure to welcome back to our studio the amazingly talented and somewhat good-looking Clemens Teufel is here. He is the co-founder of Pudddingstone Music. The Pudddingstone Music Festival was just held recently. We're going to find out everything about what happened. And the good news is there's more things coming up in the very near future. So welcome back to the show, Clemens. Nice to have you again.
Thank you so much for the warm intro, Mike, and it's great to see you.
It's nice to have someone that you feel comfortable with, and I certainly feel comfortable with you. The last show we did was quite pleasurable, and I'm sure this one will be too, as we get a lot of information out to our audience about Pudddingstone Music. Now, I know we talked about it last time, but let's refresh everyone. That's kind of an unusual name. How did that all come about?
Yeah, thank you. So when the thought was to move forward and really create this organization, I talked to my dear friend and marketing professional, and he asked me, what is your favorite composer? And I said, oh, it's Robert Schumann. And he said, oh, then you can call it the Robert Schumann Society or the Robert Schumann Festival.
Right.
And I mentioned that I would love to have something that is non-musical, makes people think, and also has a local connection. And he said, Pudddingstone. And I said, what is Pudddingstone? I said, remember Hanging Rock? I said, yeah, I love Hanging Rock. I love going there. It's one of my favorite places. And so we settled on Pudddingstone because it beautifully resembles the idea of combining multiple art forms in one performance, just like the rock does with the different quarters in one conglomerate, as they call it.
Wow. All right. I don't know if we did cover that last time, but that's a great story, and I'm sure a lot of people look at that and go, Pudddingstone, I wonder if it has anything to do with chocolate or vanilla or, or bread pudding or whatever. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about you. You did not grow up nearby. You grew up in a different continent, correct?
Correct, yeah. I grew up in Europe, in Germany precisely. And basically arrived here a little bit by chance. So after I finished studying, I started performing, including internationally. Started performing here in the US. And I had a teacher who taught in New York City and in Frankfurt, Germany, who brought me over first, and eventually met my wife, who is from this island. And when I found out about Newport, I fell in love. I've not seen a place like it, and so now we're here on Aquidneck Island.
There you go. All right. Well, it's great to have you here, and I know that the festival was successful. Tell us a little bit about what happened with that.
Yeah. So the music festival, this was our second time that we did that. We had our inaugural music festival last year, and that is one of the programs that we do with Pudddingstone Music. And it's basically a condensed week of concerts and open rehearsals, and I call it also artistic gathering. And so this year we were at the Casino Theater. We had 5 concerts with a very broad range from basically early 1700s all the way up to Cuban jazz. And it included a family show with circus music and art. And we had a sound check and open rehearsal for children and young students who could talk to a Grammy-winning artist. So it was a very colorful festival, and it included an exhibition of artwork from Roseanne Williams, a painter who had 5 large-scale paintings up in the Casino Theater. And it was a great time. Yeah.
Now, that theater is going to be perfect for what you were doing. I know that it's been through several variations over the years of being fixed up and refurbished and so forth. It looks like a great spot.
Yes, it really is. And I just love the history behind it. And it's one of the very architecturally famous buildings and one of the very old theaters. And it's just so very wonderful that it's been renovated and can now be used again. And the acoustics are wonderful. It is also great to have a stage. So we usually do a lot of our concerts in the historic spaces around here. Sometimes we have a stage, but often we don't. And so then we have to be creative and how to seat people around it. And I like that format because it's less formal and allows, to me personally, I believe, a better contact between the artists and the audience. But there are some challenges, of course.
There's always challenges, and having the stage does get one decision made for you. You don't have to worry about that. Now, as usual, we're going to be mixing in some music with our program, and you brought several pieces with you. I'd like to find out why you chose this first piece called Late Night.
Yeah, so this is a really interesting artist. This is Thatcher Harrison. And he's a young guitar player. He won, I think, already 20 music competitions. And I find him very interesting because he's classically trained, but he has a very broad range of styles and he fuses them together. And we are presenting Thatcher at Rough Point on August 21st in Newport. And so this piece by him is called Late Night Jam Session. And I asked him about the piece. So he composed it. It's his own music. And he explained to me how, as a child, he was so into music that he was really looking to find friends who could play with him. And he found those friends who were much older than him in their 50s and 60s. And they would invite him frequently to outdoor late night jam sessions during the summer. And this piece is basically a dedication to this musical family that he found at a very young age and where they all improvised and played different things together. So this is Late Night Jam Sessions by Thatcher Harrison.
All right, we'll give that a listen, then we'll take a short break and be back with more. Pudddingstone music is the subject of tonight's Conducting Conversations. I'm Mike Mano, very pleased to be sitting with Clemens as we talk about the events that have been taking place in Newport. And we just heard a piece that's going to be played on August 21st. And Clemens, I think we should probably tell people that if they would like information about that concert or any of the others coming up, you can go to a website, correct?
Correct, yeah. So you can visit our website, and it's www.puddingsstonemusic.org. That's PUDDINGSTONE music.org.
There you go. And there's information there about the concert on the 21st. And you also have another one before that, right? Tell us
yes,
date of that.
Yep. We have another concert on August 14th, and that is in Jamestown at the Jamestown Arts Center. And I'm very excited about that because also it is a collaboration with the Jamestown Arts Center, and they have a really wonderful exhibition for people to explore. And that concert is called Sound Within, and it's a tribute celebration of Bill Evans.
Excellent. All right. Okay, let's get back to some music and tell us about this next piece.
Yeah, so the next piece is also a very interesting piece by Thatcher Harrison. And he described to me how he was trying to bring people together in times when sometimes there are just so many different opinions. And so basically, the way he did this is very clever. So in the early 20th century, there was a movement called the 12-tone music, or the New Viennese School of Music, and it's atonal. And in the music world, there were always people who liked it, defended it, found it very interesting. And then there's the other side of people who like harmonious music, melodic music.
Right.
And
Kind
so,
of like modern art as far as painting goes versus traditional.
correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a very good comparison. And so Thatcher wanted to bring those two groups together. And he basically said he used the 12-tone row in a different way, in a melodical way. And this piece is called Dodecaphonic Exploration, number 3, Nothing But Reruns. And I think it's a very interesting piece, and hope you enjoy it.
Clemens, also that piece and the piece that we heard in the first segment, obviously, were both live with a great audience response. So it's always interesting for me to hear music that is live rather than studio version where, oh, I didn't like that part, let's do that part again, and you mix and remix and so forth, but you get the real thing right there. And a lot of your performances, obviously, when they're live, it's whatever happens, happens. Is that good news for you or bad news? Which would you prefer?
Yeah, that is actually really good news, and I am in that camp to say that what happens live is more interesting than anything planned, because that's what's really deeply within the artist, and also artists become inspired in the moment. Me as a pianist, I always had the best concerts when there was a big audience and I felt a strong connection. Because as a musician, we're a medium and bringing the music out to the people.
Right.
So if it's not live, there's an element missing. I think music is really, it's important to have it live.
Absolutely. I can remember one time being in Ottawa, and we were going to be recording a cut that was going to be on our album with live on stage. And this was at a cast party after the concert in the big concert hall. So there was a couple hundred people at this big party. And I explained to the audience that we were going to be recording live and try to cut down any coughing, sneezing, whatever. So we get towards the end of the song, and one guy stands up and starts clapping and cheering. And we're not, it was halfway through the end. And so we finished. I said, look, we're going to do another take, but we don't need you clapping and screaming. So it does have its disadvantages sometimes. Let's move along, and we're going to kind of change gears here now and talk about some very different music than what you've just heard. Tell us about what's coming up now.
Yeah, so this is pianist Randy Ingram, and he is a really wonderful pianist from New York who has played for Pudddingstone last year in one of our Jazz and Shakespeare events. And I'm very excited to have him back, this time with the program called Sound Within, a celebration of Bill Evans. And Randy explained that Bill Evans really is the reason why he picked up the piano. That's how much Bill Evans' sound and way of playing inspired him. And he said it's not really the style, but it's the way that he plays. And it's what comes out of him so deep from inside, and the tone that he creates on the piano. And so Randy, when he does something, he does it really well, so to say. So he wanted to get as close to his idol as possible. And he reached out to drummer Joe LaBarbera and bass player Rufus Reed, and they played both with Bill Evans, and so they're coming to Jamestown to play with Randy this program, which I just find really very exciting.
Wow. Now, the date of that one again?
That's August 14th.
That's the 14th concert. Make sure we got them straight here. Okay, we'll give that a listen. We'll take another short break, and we'll be back with more about Pudddingstone music. Welcome back to Conducting Conversations. I'm Mike Mano, and very pleased to be talking to Clemens about Pudddingstone Music and his festival that he just finished, and a couple of dates coming up very soon. Matter of fact, one in 2 weeks and one in 3 weeks. So if you'd like information about that, you can go to the website, which is very easy to remember. It's puddingstonemusic.com .org. He's whispering to me in the distance. Okay. puddingstonemusic.org, and that's PUDDINGSTONE. And music you can spell however you want. Clemens, the 2 concerts that are coming up are going to be over very soon. What happens down the road and towards the end of August and from there on?
Yeah, so we are going to reveal our fall series. So one of the programs besides the music festival is our year-round musical salon series. And that will start in September with monthly musical salons that combine music and other art forms. And that includes some really wonderful musicians and artists. There's going to be a solo piano program with David Kaplan. It's called Quasi una Fantasia, which implements visual art as well. We have coming up the Goldberg variations in a string trio arrangement by, it's a famous arrangement by Alexander Sitkovetsky. And we have also coming up Dan Pugac with a jazz no-net. So it's a very colorful program. So stay tuned. We're going to update everyone through our website, and you can also sign up through our newsletter. But yeah, that's the musical salon series that runs monthly throughout the year.
Excellent. You mentioned newsletter. Is there a way people can get on that list?
Yeah, absolutely. So just visit our website, puddingstonemusic.org, and there is a window to just punch your email in, and you'll be added to our newsletter.
Excellent. All right. Very good. Let's get back to some music. This is My Foolish Heart, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Tell us about this one.
Well, it's one of the pieces that Randy chose for his album, Sound Within. And it's a Bill Evans song, and it's his interpretation of that very famous piece.
Clemens, I know these festivals don't just come together by snapping your fingers. It takes a lot of work on your part, but you have help from the community with some sponsorships and so forth. Why don't you tell us what happened there?
Yes, thank you. And it's really, indeed, I feel quite lucky that I have so much support with this. And yeah, as they say, it takes a village, and it really does. And so I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who is supporting us, including our founding patrons and donors, our volunteers and staff, but also our sponsors who have so generously sponsored and supported us. And that includes Designs, Granins of Newport, the Robert Moulinier Group at Morgan Stanley, Edge Realty, Wavelength Salon, Newport This Week, Eugene Nasons, and then our in-kind sponsors, Lebec Sucre, Newport Music, Luca Music, who provides the pianos for us, Yamaha Pianos, Baubar, Cru Cafe, Sarah Campbell, the MKTG Company, and Coco and Company.
Wow.
Thank you all so very much.
Very good. Nice listing. All right, we have time for one more piece of music that you brought. And just recapping, the two concerts coming up, one on the 14th and one on the 21st. So get to puddingstonemusic.org and check out the situation, and maybe you can make both of them. That would be great. And can they buy tickets right online?
Yep,
All
the
right.
links are up. Mm-hmm.
Everything is there. Tell us about this last piece.
Yeah, so the last piece is really a jazz standard, and it's from Bill Evans' album We'll Meet Again, which was released in 1980, and it was Evans' last studio recording. And Randy Ingram, the pianist who we're featuring in this concert coming up, he's playing it with Rufus Reed and Joe De La Barbara in their own version, and it's really a great piece. So I hope you enjoy it.
Excellent, excellent. Well, best of luck on the two concerts coming up, and hope to see you again when your big announcement comes out for the fall.
Thank you, Mike. It's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much. Great to see you.
Conducting Conversations was brought to you by Roberts Musical Instruments, using music and the arts to keep your child educated, entertained, and having fun. Roberts Musical Instruments is your key to musical success. Call 823-5459. That's 823-5459.